Hi, it's Joy and so we're watching The Dragon Prince, Season 6, Episode 9, Stardust. The finale is here, and I am stressed. Now, Stardust, that it's what they needed instead of a Khazar demon. Why do I keep saying Khazar demon, Khazar crystal? The last episode was so intense. I'm very stressed for this finale. And then having to wait however long for Season 7, because there will be a Season 7, right? Nothing's getting resolved in this episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction. All of the season is up unedited on my Patreon, as well as edited as well, but it's edited here now as well. If you're seeing this on YouTube, and let's go.
I don't understand. Why didn't it work?
Because the spell must be cast with love.
Love? I don't know how to do that.
I understand how very much your father loved you, Claudia. Because I too had a daughter, and I loved her deeply.
Past tense.
And a brilliant girl, full of unexpected surprises.
Playing with humans as well.
She didn't care to follow this. She was born an immortal being from the heavens.
This is his dark backstory, his villain origin story.
Loved.
Those coins will guide you. Each coin contains a fragment of a soul. On the other side, the rest of the soul longs to be whole again. Broken souls of your family will be drawn to the coins. To you, Rayla.
Can she at least free the third one, like, to the afterlife?
It'll let you come back to me. To us. You know, to the not dead side.
Sweetheart, you're kissing now. You can tell her to us.
Please don't die.
Good luck, Rayla, my darling. She's about to see her parents again.
Renan, what happened to you?
Oh god, has being here made them warped versions of themselves, tortured and suffering? Oh. I don't want her to see them as like strange, monstrous versions of themselves. They're not because they had each other?
Mom?
But that happiness was taken from me.
This prison even looks like their home.
The elf touched Rayla on the shoulder and it disappeared.
Was there anything else? Anything at all?
And there was a dragon, a golden dragon.
Oh.
He just stood and watched.
So they kidnapped his daughter.
I'm scared.
I mean, doing something terrible to your daughter doesn't mean you get to make everybody else suffer.
Mom?
Or they just lost in each other, unable to hear her.
Rayla, would you like to dance with us?
How long have we been dancing? It feels like forever.
They're not even commenting on the fact that she's grown.
This
Has shown them nothing.
Plus, even if she did, she's a child. So, like, this is a bit extreme.
There is proof.
This act, however motivated, is the beginning of the end. The start of the long, slow spiral to chaos. And the price must be paid.
If it's too late, then why punish anyone?
My life.
You may die alongside your daughter.
Jesus Christ.
was it the Dragon Prince
I mean,
to that
at this point, I feel like it's his star-touched elves, no, celestial elves, or whatever, that are the problem here. Not humans or other elves. I suppose a dragon stood and watching and the Dragon Prince was the witness, so, but like...
Maid? It was rescued? By who? Me. Two human princes and I found the egg and took the Dragon Prince home to
The
his mother.
babies.
I wish I could take you back with me. I wish we could all stay together. I wish. Shh, Rayla. It's okay.
Rayla.
Where we're going, we'll have each other. We love you, Rayla. We always
This is
will.
really sad. Especially because she had that hope that she'd save all three of them, and so she's choosing to just save Brunan. But they have peace now.
Chose to live, and my life took on new purpose.
You may have final words.
Like, I guess he didn't have the power to save her or stop her, to stop them from hurting her.
Daddy, I'm so scared.
It's his villain origin story. so this is where we saw him crying at the beginning. At this point, he probably should have just died with her. She's like, see, we're the same, we both lost things.
Runan?
But like, what happened to his daughter, I can't even imagine. Like, unthinkable evil, especially when like the damage was done and it was a child. It was not her fault. If anything, it was more her father's fault for not teaching her not to share magic with humans if it was this big no-no. Though again, I don't think either of them should have been killed for it. Like, my heart breaks for Aaravos as he was. None of what he's done since is excused. Bless Rayla for giving her parents peace.
You're still in there.
I guess her parents had each other to keep them sane.
Let you go. You taught me to never break my promises. But you've broken one of yours.
Oof. Her kindness continuing to ripple.
No. No.
Runan, wait.
She's saving you, sweetheart. Oh. This is where they fractured in so many ways.
Can't go back. I remember. I fought you. I tried to kill you.
Yeah, that was very shit of you.
Could I?
Athari needs you.
And just maybe be better in future.
I love you.
She gets one of her parents back.
Rayla, are you alright? Did you...
I have him.
The story we just heard. Maybe it started as a story of love.
Yep.
Along the way, it got twisted.
Just like you have been, Claudia. Oh, listen to
Look where we
Terry.
are. We're surrounded by the bones of...
Aaravos did what was necessary.
Terry,
However
Claudia.
dangerous. Like my dad.
Claudia, sweetheart, remember how at the end your dad was like, oh my god, my whole life was a mistake. Everything I did was wrong. I am terrible. I can't believe I did this and that I did this to you. Do you want to remember that? My god, the spells are the same. That's insane.
Stella.
This is insane.
Vitae.
Vitae.
Terry did a token gesture of trying to talk sense into her for once. You didn't even try to stop her, Terry. I mean, you tried vaguely, but you know she's making a huge mistake that she will either come to regret or she'll stop being the person you care about. He's here.
You're alive. It's you.
What happened?
I'm so proud of
So
Rayla.
much.
Is that
Oh,
Catalyst?
it is. Most of the people are okay, I think. It's okay, sweetheart. Most of the people are alive. And you couldn't have known. Good job, Claudia. That's such a lovely thing you're doing. You have made all the right choices. When now, including Terry, everyone in your life has told you it's a bad idea. This is what blindly following someone you love down a dark path gets you. I had a very intrusive thought then. Now, what if he just, like, chucked her? What? This year? Like, Simpsons 7's coming this year. Oh my god. I was like, okay, we'll have to wait like a year. I can do that. December. I'm thrilled. Okay, and I just googled it to, I mean, I don't think Netflix would lie, but I just googled it to make sure that they didn't mean like 2025. And it said it will wrap up the Aaravos plotline, which kind of makes sense at this point. Like, with the way things have been boiling and like spreading, it would make sense that this would be kind of reaching the culmination of the Aaravos plotline. Plus, like 4 seasons, it kind of makes sense. But I hope we get more Dragon Prince because I love it, and I would take 4 more seasons and then 4 more seasons. Okay, so they did that thing that I actually find I like it when shows do it. The very interesting thing of episode 8 was the big, scary, stressful, oh my god, who's gonna live and die episode. And this episode was much more emotional, it was slower, it was just about stories and people. Now, I will give them the Aaravos story, unforgivable, agony, pain. But you know who the biggest criminals in it are? His own elves. Not anybody else. Not humanity. His own elves. And then the dragon that was the witness, the dragon prince that was the witness, Solregum, I guess. That is literally the culprits. That's who's to blame. Not anybody else. And the person he has become, his daughter, would despise and be terrified of. So it's one of those backstories where I'm like, I feel so much sympathy for what happened with Aaravos. I can't even imagine it. I understand where the burning desire for anger and revenge came from. But then it's also like, you do realize you have become something that your daughter would hate. And it also seems like if this act of giving humans magic was like the beginning of a downfall or whatever, it almost feels like by killing her, they ensured the downfall would come through Aaravos. But yeah, so I think it definitely, Aaravos isn't just an elf who thought, lol, it'd be funny if I could get loads of power. He is somebody who suffered a great loss and tragedy. But I don't think he's justified in any way, shape, or form with what he's doing from there onwards. Now, I will give Terry credit that he finally was like, hey, like, what are you doing? But, like, why hasn't he thought about maybe trying to dissuade her from this at any other point? Like, I'm guessing when the goal was to save her dad and bring him back to life, he was kind of, I'll then keep him alive. Terry was sort of like, well, you know, I don't want to say to her, hey, Rayla, we should let your dad die because I love her and that would cause her pain. And so now that Viren is just dead and it's out of the picture, he's like, hey, Rayla, maybe we shouldn't do this. But he should have tried a little bit harder. And it is going to be interesting to see going forwards whether Terry stays by Rayla's side and whether, depending on what Aaravos does, if I was saying Rayla just then, I'm so sorry, oh my god, my brain fog. Claudia. Whether Terry stays by Claudia's side, and then when you see what happens with Aaravos going forwards and what he chooses to do, if Claudia stands by him, or if Claudia is like, oh, that was really dumb of me. I've done some terrible things. Because I don't think Claudia is out and out evil. I do think there was a time when she was approaching that point, and I think she could also get there again. But that attitude of I am willing to hurt anybody and anything in order to save the people I love is so toxic. And it doesn't make you a good person. Being like, oh, I'm willing to sacrifice myself, being willing to kind of do dark things that ultimately don't hurt anyone, that's a difference. But Aaravos' story was like, it was one of love, and I relate to it because I lost my dad. Okay, Claudia, but you know how you are freeing him so he can enact a lot of pain and suffering? That's a really good idea. So I'm intrigued with where Claudia goes. I was wondering what was happening because I feel like both her and Viren having a redemption arc in the same season would be weird. I'd be like, who's on Aaravos' team? So I'm going to be intrigued to see where she goes from here and if there is any chance of redemption for her. And I think Terry is the perfect example of loving someone, giving you blinders to who they really are. But when Terry has no excuse, because it's not like a case where someone is a terrible, evil person, like, I don't know, a serial killer, and then they come home and they act like a good, normal, loving person, and then they go away and they do the bad things. She was doing the bad things in front of Terry, and he was just like, oh, well, maybe, yeah, okay, I love her. Like, I need more from Terry next season to try and pull her back from the darkness and stop Aaravos. So how the hell do we stop Aaravos? Because he can't die, for one thing. Though he totally can die because his daughter died. So we just need his star people to kill him. Unless he's killed all of them already, in which case then now he can't die. Because we didn't see what happened after that one approached him at the lake and was like, it's okay that your daughter died because we're all Stardust. So now Rayla broke my heart in this episode. And, you know, going in, I was sort of thinking, like, well, there's 2 Quasars. Would it be like, oh, 2 parents? That makes sense. Obviously, all 3 of them were her parents, but her parents was a couple. But I think in a way, giving her parents peace together, whatever that peace may be, and then taking Runan back so he can be reunited with his love, makes sense in a heartbreaking way. There was no good choice to be made here. You know, I almost feel like her parents were ready for it. They were okay as you can be with it because they had each other, and awful as that. And they also knew Rayla wasn't alone. I mean, admittedly, her village turned their back on her, and even her other parent's husband, who's also her parent, was nice to her, but also, I don't know, like, has she seen him recently? But I think given the impossible choice she made, she found a way to make one that you can live with and be at peace with. They are all her parents, and she had 2 stones and 3 parents. And I think the end result, being able to save Runan, especially when you find her parents, and while yes, they've been trapped, they haven't been suffering. They've been with each other, losing track of time and just not really aware of what was going on because they had each other. Whereas Runan has been here and he's been tortured the whole time and losing himself and torturing himself over the fact that he tried to kill Rayla, which good. You should never have tried to kill Rayla. Be angry at her for failing in her assassin duty, sure, but no. So I think ultimately it was the best choice in an impossible circumstance, and that does mean there is still a Khazar diamond in the world. So if we're going to need one of those to somehow like trap Aaravos, I guess in the end, I don't know. But yeah, then Callum seeing Catullus, Ezra seeing Catullus, devastating. Obviously now Aaravos is free and his allies do not have anything going for them. You know, Catullus is destroyed. His people are currently fleeing, and now they can rebuild, but it's kind of hard to rebuild while fighting off an evil mastermind. The Sun Elves are also in the same state. The rest of Zadia and the rest of the human kingdoms will hopefully help out, but who knows? We will see. This was a brilliant season. I absolutely loved it. I loved the character progressions across the board. I think the only character that I think didn't really have character progression was Claudia, but that's mainly because she began some character progression and then turned around and went right back. There is still hope for her to continue that character progression because every single person she's ever loved has been like, this Aaravos guy is a bad guy, and she's been like, new daddy figure, and he's like, new daughter figure. We'll see what happens there. Soren getting to kind of have that healing with his dad, even though it ultimately ended in tragedy, I think is extremely beautiful. Callum and Rayla, Callum being, I mean, I'm still convinced at some point he's going to have to use dark magic and it's going to be awful, but him being freed of the dark magic for now and what his fears over what it's doing to him, being with Rayla, finally, them being able to admit their feelings, Janai and Amaya getting to be together, the evil prince being captured, like there was a lot of good. But then Arrow is free. This was a fantastic season, and it's only December 19th, so we have to wait for the next one. I'm so happy. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of all of these reactions on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.